What
It's
is
called
this?
Random Acts of Finance.
Oh,
See, I
there you
got it.
go. Beat me to it. Random Acts of Finance, episode 562. At least that's what it feels like tonight. Today, I'm here with Anatula, Arush, and Anish. We are going to talk about PENN Gaming and how it has entered the S&P 500 and how the whole institution is going to crap. No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe I'm not. I don't know. Let's talk about it. I'm going to give it to our resident PENN Gaming expert and user of their platforms and probably has a board seat. And Antula, tell us about PENN Gaming and what it is.
PENN Gaming is they started with they own a lot of casinos, right? The reason they rose to fame is last year they invested in Barstool Sports, which is the famous like online sports, what do you call it? I guess sports website founded by Dave Portnoy, which is known for its kind of racy content and pretty funny content. They invested about $400 million into it. Ended up, being a pretty good deal for them because having that following from Barstool really pumped up that stock. And Dave Portnoy, his only goal throughout the entire quarantine was to pump up PENN Gaming stock. Hey, he achieved it with me. I bought in. I fell into the craze. That stock now has gone up 700% since last March. Last March, it was at $3.60. And right now it's hovering at around $136. Now, not only have they invested in Barstool, they have also started buying additional casinos to, add to their portfolio. So overall, with, gambling coming back, it's gone up a little bit. And I think their biggest thing has been Barstool opened up their own sports book, kind of like how FanDuel, DraftKings has it. But the Barstool Sportsbook is only open in, I believe, Pennsylvania and Illinois now. Illinois just opened up last week. And it has the potential to open up in, I believe, 20 other states now. And they're slowly rolling it out. So because of that, the stock still has a lot of potential and investors see that. And due to that, they announced that it would be inducted into the S&P 500.
Okay, it's a newbie question here, but what's the difference between sports betting and a sports book? Is it one of the same?
One of the same. Like you can have mobile sports book. Sorry. So you have sports books that are usually at casinos, and they've generally been in states where, for us, West Virginia or like Maryland, like we'd go there, right? But now it's opening up in a mobile app. Huh? Maryland doesn't do sports book. Okay.
So
they might now, but they didn't before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my question is, does I guess every company have to get like a specific license to open in a specific state?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I thought it was just like, if it's legal in Virginia, any company can open it in Virginia.
Okay. It's so like Virginia, think of it as it's not exactly, but sort of like a bank. You have to have like a gambling license to be gambling.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
And for mobile gambling, I believe Virginia started off with like 6 licenses, or either mobile gambling or just sportbook in general. I believe they had like 6 or 7 licenses that they were going to hand out, and now that's expanded to about 12 or 13, I think. And FanDuel got one. FanDuel, DraftKings, and Barstool, I believe, were the first 3, and then William Hill, whatever. There's a few others that got those. So
MGM, I think, has one as well.
Yep, MGM has one. Oh. And so all of these have like gotten that license from the state of Virginia. And now Barstool also got it in Illinois, and they've opened it up there since in the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's definitely, I feel like a push to get more, I don't know, maybe volatile stocks into the S&P 500.
But is it more volatile?
I mean, it's not fully like live in every state, and it's like not, I think tomorrow a state can decide actually we're not doing gambling anymore, and then all those people have to drop off. And I mean, what happens to all that money that was going into it?
I think volatile might be a strong word. I think it's more like non-traditional. Let's go with that. Because like, I mean, the way sports betting is working and how much, like, I think New Jersey put out numbers of how much tax revenue they've gotten from it. They're probably looking at it like, these states are raking in money. This isn't going anywhere. It's like when, like, I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not understanding, but like when Tesla went into the S&P 500, why is this so shocking when it's going to perform fine? Like, it's going to be fine now. It's more proven now. It's not as it's volatile to an extent, sure, but like we know it's somewhat safe. somewhat safe.
Yeah,
now.
I guess sports betting has been proven for hundreds of years.
Dude,
Exactly.
Cavemen were like, "I'll give you rock if you can beat me there," and then he gives him rock when he loses, right? Like,
Yeah. But I guess that now does this open up the S&P 500 to stocks like marijuana stocks?
Not yet, not yet.
I think one is mostly because federally legal, maybe.
Yes, I think the federal legal issue, because now this all stems from like sports betting is federally, like the Supreme Court struck down that being illegal in this country, and when they do that with marijuana stocks, I think the one that ends up being like a Penn Gaming or DraftKings or whatever, that one will be in the S&P 500.
Just go heavy in Alpharia, right?
If that's the one, I don't know. I don't know if that's the one.
Or actually go heavy in what's the name? TAP, Molson Coors, because they're planning on doing something with the Canadian MJ producers. So we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of shakeup where like, who are the ones that were dropped from the S&P 500?
Xerox was one.
Xerox.
God, rest
who
in
the
peace.
fuck uses a sorry? Who uses a copier anymore?
Wait, you don't?
But what? I mean, I have enough pictures of my butt that I've taken on my copier. What do you want me to do here?
Yeah. Now, I think that actually is a good catalyst. I think you may have already hit it since they made the announcement. It's since Xerox is going to be out, that now everybody is going to start purchasing HP, right? HP was their biggest competitor in the printer and all that kind of space. So I feel like that HP stock probably already pumped up.
HP is broken down so many times into like different segments of their business, and I don't think that really affects it, right? So,
but HP's hardware arm has always stayed its hardware arm. It's their enterprise arm that's been broken into like pieces. Their computer building, like hardware, their technology side stayed intact. They just sold off enterprise, and the venture capital has had their way with it. But
oh my god, they've split it up like 5-6 times so far.
It is now Peraton. That's where we are now.
Remember, DXC is still part of old HP.
Yeah, that's true.
DXC is still another part of it, and they're slowly breaking apart all their businesses as well. I mean, at one point, 20-some billion.
DXC was a merger between two.
It was HPE and CMC Corp or something like that.
It was
those two merged to form DXC, and in the past few years, DXC has sold off a few different businesses, a couple to private equity. And this is public knowledge. Like these are deals worth billions of dollars. One of them was a $5 billion deal. So it's done a lot of separation work.
Yeah,
okay, so I mean, what is this? I guess. Okay.
First, Peraton bought Perspecta just now for like billions, and Peraton also bought Northrop's, like their whatever arm.
Military one.
No, not military is staying. Northrop is going to be only a military, like making missiles company now. They sold off their consulting arm. The government consulting arm to Peraton. What the fuck is Peraton doing? Where did they get all this goddamn money from? Like they literally have bought companies for over $20 billion at this point.
People invested in Peraton thinking it was Peloton, and they just made a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm about to look at their stock because it's about to be wild. Oh no, it's private equity. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's why you can't
all
buy
the private money. It's all that private money.
Yeah. There you go. So what do we think about the S&P 500? Is it stable? Should I be taking my money out of the S&P 500? Because I'm worried now. It's just wild out there.
I think the percentage is how they divvy up, their money in the S&P 500. I think it's still gonna stay safe.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna change much. If you think about it, the full S&P 500 is like their market. Like if you look at all the companies' market cap, it's like $32 trillion. Out of which 8.9 trillion comes from the top 5 companies.
Yeah.
So it's like those companies are not going anywhere. Apple, I haven't seen a $10 I've never seen a $10 fluctuation in Apple over the course of like a week, 2 weeks, even a month.
Remember this time last year, you saw that.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
When everyone thought we thought the C virus was gonna kill everything.
Well, it hasn't been great. But what I'm saying is like those 5 companies are not gonna let the S&P 500 tank. Yes, historically we've seen that 5 to 8% a year-over-year average return or whatever it is. from the S&P 500. But I mean, I don't think the inclusion of Caesars and PENN Gaming is going to completely ruin it. But the way that the index is going, like, what makes me think they're not going to start like including other riskier type stocks, I guess, or non-traditional.
I mean, now does that mean the yields go up? Now your percentage is, instead of 8 to 10%, now you can get to 15%.
Or you could.
No, I don't think so. I think law of averages brings that out of like maybe you went from 8 to now 8.8.
Yeah,
like that average return, because I mean, all you're doing is like, okay, Xerox wasn't helping as much, so we'll put something in like Tesla and stuff. But remember, when Tesla's getting shorted and it just does one of these, everything else has to pick back up, right? So
and I think also, I mean, the S&P 500 still has a whole bunch of like, tobacco stocks and all these other like traditional stocks that we don't know what the future for them is. So
I'm actually gonna look at like SPY, which is like S&P ETF, pretty much, right? Pretty much it mirrors, right?
Yeah.
Look at their holdings, because their biggest holding is 6% of it is Apple, Microsoft is 5.4%, Amazon is 4%, and then there's a huge drop off to Facebook, Alphabet. Tesla's only 1.59% of it, so it's like, I mean, it is more than Johnson and Johnson and JP Morgan, which is actually a little surprising to me that they have more of Tesla than they do like JP Morgan. But no, I mean, I don't think it's going to shit. You should still put your money there if you're scared of everything. Put your money there still. You get a little Tesla action, a little PENN Gaming action in there. So I don't think it's a big deal.
And I think I'm still gonna continue to put some in there.
I think every person, again, I'm not a financial advisor, should put a little bit away in a ETF such like SPY, just because it's safe. Like you can't gamble everything away. Like you can't. Even with this $1,000, I'm gonna put a little percentage into it because it's safe at the end of the day. And then you also have great exposure too. I mean, 8% is not nothing, right? Like 8% is not nothing.
It's like 5 million times better than putting in your savings account.
No, it's
what?
Literally infinitely better, because your savings account hurts you in the long run.
Exactly.
Anish, you've been quiet. Let me bring you into this. What do you think about the S&P 500? Are you, as someone that's a high dividend, I'm just giving you this label of the dividend guy now. The dividend.
Yo, that's me.
How do you feel about the S&P 500 here making these moves?
I mean, I was like, as you guys were talking, I was looking into it to see what companies are in the S&P 500 that could be replaced next for whatever the next big thing is.
Yeah.
And figuring out what their competitor is, and if they're not in the S&P 500 or an ETF, like, would they pop off that their competitor is being removed from such like a safe, like you guys said, like safe little thing. So I'm trying to see, like, I've not put any money into SPY. I've been more in VU. So that's the one thing I've been putting in. That's my safe ETF.
Wait, what's that? What is that one?
The Vanguard one.
Pretty much, it's a Vanguard. Yeah.
Oh, VU. I heard Lou.
Yeah.
I was like, what's Lou? No, VU.
He put all his money in the bathroom.
Yeah, they're literally the same thing. SPY, VU. There's a few of them. They're literally all the IVV. They're all literally the same. They all, if you look at them side by side, they all do the same thing at the same time. So fair enough. So what's next? What do you guys think is the next stock that goes in the S&P 500? What do you think is
GME, bro? GME to the moon. Bring them back.
We're gonna have an emergency podcast when that happens, and we're gonna talk about how no one should invest in the S&P 500 because Reddit broke into whatever their office is, and they let this shit happen, and things about to hit the fan. Shit's about to hit the fan. Damn.
I mean, honestly, I see like a company, like a recent IPO company, like a DoorDash or Airbnb getting into it sooner rather than later, I would say.
Yeah. Do you guys know if there are any hotel companies in the S&P 500?
I'm pretty sure Marriott's in there.
I imagine Hilton as well.
Yeah, Marriott.
I would assume maybe something gets kicked down to Airbnb can get pushed in. I don't know about DoorDash because I feel like they don't really have anything proprietary in the sense that there's so much competition to it already. like I understand there's competition to Airbnb, like VRBO or whatever. But anytime I'm trying to look for a place to go, I don't even think of VRBO. It's always Airbnb.
Exactly, and it's also
Right?
international, right? Like
Exactly.
if you're going to like Caribbean islands, for example, first thing you do is look at Airbnb.
Exactly.
And it's one of those like names that just sticks out. It's like one of those like when we're looking at ride sharing, right? People don't really say Lyft ever. People always like even if they're ordering a Lyft, they call it an Uber.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I got the Uber. Yo, it's a Lyft.
What's funny though is sometimes people will be like, "Yo, let me look for an Uber," and someone will be like, "No, check for Lyft. It's a little cheaper here." That's what literally people will say.
Yeah. So I feel like that's the thing. I feel like Airbnb has that. Like if you compare it to an EV stock, they have the more mileage on them. I feel like they're more everywhere, and they've kind of been through the rounds. So I feel like that is definitely a contender that could go into the S&P 500.
I do think Airbnb and DoorDash both have a very good chance. And GoGo, the other stock you mentioned, Palantir, maybe.
Palantir is way too volatile. That shouldn't go in. As someone that thinks it's a good stock, it's a long-term play. It can't go in anytime soon. So I was doing a little research on who like some analysts have going in next after Tesla's jump in, and they had Zoom, what we're on right now. Zoom was one of them. Oh, I lost the page. Zoom, Square was another one.
Okay.
Enphase Energy and Lululemon Athletica or whatever the clothing companies.
I mean,
Square I can see.
Yeah, Square, because their big acquisition of the whole title.
Yeah.
He
got paid.
It's not just that. I think they're the ones who can take the NFTs to the next level with the whole royalty payments or a share of the cut. If you own an NFT for the song or whatever it is, that is something they can kind of bridge into the whole Square payments. So
dude. And I just want to say this, shout out to Jay-Z, because he also got a board seat. He negotiated himself a board seat.
Jay-Z got paid this year with his 2 deals.
Man, he's a business man. Shout out, Hove. If you want to come on Culture Crossover or this podcast, let me know. Or I call next or anything else. Shout out. I'm sitting right here. I don't move. Anything else we got for the S&P 500 before we call it quits?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there is a high dividend version of the S&P 500, which takes into account all of those like high dividend S&P 500 stocks, and that has a great dividend. Yes. That's what I have. I have that one and the Vanguard one, and they pay out well. And I'm like, okay, I like this. It doesn't always do as well, but it always gets some money back every quarter, so that's nice.
Get those $50 checks here and there.
I mean, I don't get the check. I just get it reinvested back in. But I mean, it's still nice. It's nice. It's a nice little, because there's a lot of stocks like Tesla that don't pay you shit. So, yeah. All right. This was another episode of Random Acts of Finance. See, I don't even ask y'all no more because I don't say nothing.
I said it at the beginning of the show.
Good for you, man. Good job.
And then forgot.
One time. And you didn't do it now. All right. Make sure you subscribe. Tell us who you think should enter the S&P 500 next.
GME.
AMC, costs, any of those. Which one do you think will get in first?
Nokia, man. We need Nokia back in there.
BlackBerry, bro.
Okay, tell us which Wall Street Bets stock is absolutely not going to make the S&P 500. Make sure you let us know down below. Comment, as Arush was saying. Destroy the like button, and we will see you next week. Hi, y'all. Peace. Make that money.